Hey everybody, this is Dr. William Clark here for Leadership Conversations. This is the show where we talk about leadership according to the world that matters to you. And I hope that this podcast finds you doing well. You know, at the top of the year, we started this journey talking about launching our projects, our businesses, our nonprofits, or whatever was on your mind. And many of you have started that process and have been successful at it. But I felt that I needed to bring a friend on to help me talk about that. And then we started this process some time ago with a friend of mine, Herman Dose, and he has been invaluable to this podcast series talking about successful strategies for launching a small business. So I hope that you had a chance to play back some of the the previous podcast shows that we've done, because I think that those shows will add value. Herman, how are you doing, sir?
Back again. Very happy to be back on the show. Thank you for having me.
Good, good. So let's jump right in. All right, Herman, listen, let's dig into this question. Where do you see huge opportunities for small businesses to launch, survive, and thrive? Like, what industries are you seeing opportunities for small businesses to launch and grow?
Listen, I'm going to sound really cheesy and I'm going to sound repetitive and I'm going to sound like, oh, he's just copying and pasting. I'm going to say online. I listen. I tell people at the beginning of almost every class that I teach, everyone is walking around with a $500 to $1,000 phone, right? How
Yeah.
much money is that phone making you? What are you selling? What are you providing? What content are you giving
Yeah.
to people? What value are you bringing to them? So whatever that is, I think it's online. Like, are you using Facebook advertising? Are you using Instagram advertising? No time in the history of the world has such cheap advertising been available to people. Like, I spend $25 on an Instagram ad, and 5 to 10,000 people see my ad. I think it's still an untapped resource. I still don't think people understand it. I still think people feel it's super complicated. And if you feel it's super complicated, guess what? There's an industry of people who help you to learn that content, to the point where you can go on YouTube University, learn how to do Facebook advertising or Instagram advertising, and then you sell that. You can become a consultant and you charge people $100 to run their ads for a week. So I think online anything is untapped market, especially for the upcoming entrepreneur, because the world is your oyster. It's not just local anymore; it's global.
Huh. So, are there specific subject matters that people can start to tap into when it comes to launching an online business? I mean, what comes to mind for you?
Well, my passion is funding. So when launching an online business or any type of business, you're going to need funds and you're going to need resources at some point. Like we said at the in our previous talk, that providing content is great, but at some point free information is great, but at some point you're going to have to provide a product. And what that product is and how you sell it and how you present it in the online format is super, super important, because it's got to be presented well, so that your clients can consume it and enjoy it and also share it.
All right, so let's get into specifics, Herman, and let's talk about a few online businesses that come to mind. So obviously, you do credit repair.
Mm-hmm.
One business we do have in common is real estate. I don't know if people think of real estate as an online business. What's
Listen, real estate, yes. Listen, everything is sold online. Air is sold online. So yes, real estate is definitely sold online. I'll even give you an example for this. I purchased in 2018. I purchased 3 properties in Cleveland, Ohio, sight unseen. I don't know what they look like till this day. I'm gonna get out there. But the reason why I was able to see them online is because videos were shown to me, pictures were shown to me, virtual tours were shown to me. The agent sent me over the documents over the internet. And, in real estate, it's always a numbers game. It's not emotional. Here's what the comps are. Here's what they sold. Here's what they're going to sell for. Here's what's being built in the area.
Yep.
So it's a numbers game. So at some point, it was an investment. Okay, well, this investment makes sense. At minimum, I'll make 20% on the money that was just sitting in the bank anyway, or the business credit that I have access to cheap money to, I can definitely get. So absolutely, real estate is, just because it's something that's very tangible and it's in one place, you can definitely buy and sell real estate online.
But I think what you said about real estate, I think applies to all businesses, and that is,
Mhm.
you got to take the emotion out of it, and it's all about the numbers. My first investment property back in 2006 was an
Mhm.
emotional process. It was almost a spiritual process for me, and
Wow.
you know, eh, yeah, it failed. It
Okay.
failed. For
Okay.
everything it failed
Yeah.
because I didn't play the number game, and
Mhm.
over 10 years later,
Right. Right. Right.
it's all about the numbers, 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 and all that. That's all that matters. And I say it's relevant to all businesses. I will tell you, um, in my doctoral thesis, I wrote about how to sustain a nonprofit and faith-based organization. But within that book, I explore the teachings of Jesus in Luke chapter 16, where he
Mhm.
talked about the dishonest manager who got fired. And before he got fired, he settled all the accounts of his manager. And at the end of the discourse, the owner said, "You did well." One of the things that perplexes me is, how do you get fired and your boss tells you you did a good job on the way out the door? Right. So then I
Right.
explored it, and it dawned on me, okay, everybody that he settled accounts with had a certain bill that was due to his owner. He settled the accounts because he didn't feel like digging ditches. He was too pretty for that, right? So he settled the accounts and he got them a discount, but he got the money in. That speaks to
Mhm.
a critical point that you're talking about, which is it's a numbers game. Whatever they owed this guy in business wasn't the actual number they actually owed. It was interest on top of the
On
base
top of it.
expense. And it taught me a critical lesson that, for example, when we go shopping and we see stuff on sale, it really ain't on sale. That
It's,
stuff really was purchased for pennies on a dollar.
mhm.
And, we're paying kind of a retail price for it at the end of the day. So when you're launching or when you launch your business, you got to understand that the numbers is the only thing that matters. And when you know
Matter.
that you
Mhm.
bought something for 3 cents on a dollar, but you marked it up to 70 cents on a dollar and your sale price is 50 cents on a dollar, you're always going to have a profit because of the price that you bought it from, which gets me to my point. The numbers game, whether it's in real estate or any business, is based upon, and you make your money based upon how much you bought the asset or the thing for.
In the
I can
beginning.
tell
Mhm.
you based upon the numbers that you made money or lost money based upon how much you paid for that property. Right.
Initially. Yep. Mhm.
And it's the initial investment. It is not the rents. It is not the resale price. You can still make a couple of dollars, but you could have made more if you paid less here. You took off money there. You evaluated the cost here. You raised the rents there. Listen, it is about the price from jump, man. And I think a lot of people don't understand that in any business, specifically real estate, it is the numbers at the beginning of the transaction that makes a deal, which means as a business owner, you got to be an amazing negotiator.
Right. Yeah. You don't, especially in real estate, you don't, my mentor told me this, you don't make the money at closing. You
No,
make the money the day you evaluated the property and be like, ooh, I'm going to make some change off of this. You know what you're going to
exactly.
sell it for, right? So because you already did the numbers, so you're like, okay, so I know what to offer. That's when you make the money. That's when you make the money, not at the end, because throughout the entire process, you already know what the end number is because you bought it for so cheap. You could put some granite in here, or you could put some marble floor here because you know you're going to get the value later because you got it at a good deal. So you make your money at the beginning of the process in real estate. Can't stress that to your listeners enough.
Man, you can pay too much if you want to, and you will get got. Here's another online business I thought about. This goes back to what you mentioned earlier, teaching online,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
think this podcast is a form of teaching online. So the question is, how do you make money on a podcast? And you do it by getting advertisers. Now, I'm not going to suggest in any way that this podcast show is rolling in dough from sponsors. All
Oh, come on. You just signed up with Coca-Cola. What are you talking
Listen,
about?
don't be telling my secrets like that, man. Cokies in that check to Hartford, Connecticut. But listen, for people who do have a bigger name, who have name
Mhm.
recognition, the sponsors are essential to this online instruction. This is what it is. It's the conveyance of information.
Mhm.
Another way
Mhm.
is online courses. You can do it. A platform I'm familiar with is Udemy.com, where it's like a self curated experience. You can take courses on demand on any topic. Even
Annie.
even what you do with the webinars, you can easily charge for doing a
Mhm.
webinar.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Is that crazy? Once you have a following, once you've shown value and you just spoke to your to one of the people you were following after 100 videos, hey, then he started charging. I still find it fascinating that people charge to come in and see me. People pay, to come and see me speak, because the content is so freely given on my Instagram or my Facebook that, like, hey, I'm gonna go see this guy talk, and they pay me. It's still fascinating to me. But because they saw it for free, because they saw the value, then they was like, when I see this guy, I'm definitely gonna pay the money to go and see him. So we've been repeating that over and over again. So I hope everybody's definitely picking that up, because if I said it more than once, it's super important.
Yep. And I'm gonna give one more business online, since you started this with online businesses. I'm going to say books. There was a season. So once I finished my doctorate, man, I had some time to just chill and get myself together. So I was speaking, and I got into the habit of writing out my transcript for my speeches. But then I realized that my transcripts, man, they're long enough to become mini books. And not that I spoke or presented the entire transcript, but it was enough content that it became a mini book. A mini book in my mind is 25, 30 pages, quick, easy read. And so I started publishing like all my speeches as mini books, man. And, there may or may not be compensation for the speech. There may or may not be compensation for travel. But man, you could sell a mini book real quick, and it costs you the time to do the speech to do it
at one time, right?
It's time savers done at one time. You can sell it digitally, and you can sell hard copies through a number of platforms that automatically print and deliver the product to your customer.
Whoa! Now you just put me onto something.
Listen, bro.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Well, this is a small business show, so we can sell trade secrets here. Amazon owns a platform called Kindle Direct.
Yes.
They used to have it called. It used to be called CreateSpace, but CreateSpace handles your digital delivery to Amazon as well as physical delivery. So when somebody orders your product on Amazon.com, it's literally drawn from the Kindle Direct account, and it is printed and delivered. You can also get the publisher fee or publisher price, where you get your price for printing, and you order cases and have it, shipped to your event, either sell or give it away for free. A platform I use quite often for digital delivery, though, I prefer this over Gumroad, and I'll tell you in a minute, or rather, I prefer this over Amazon, is Gumroad.com. The reason I prefer Gumroad.com is the money comes directly to me. Like, I get a larger percentage of the digital platform than Amazon. Amazon kind of kills you. Obviously, the exposure is huge, so you kind of understand the trade-off. But Gumroad handles all digital products. They will deliver it to your customer. They can download your course or your book or whatever the case may be. Another product I like to use, because the money comes directly to me, will be Square. So Square Up is a product everybody's aware of, but the reason I like Square is because the money comes into your account the very next day. Gumroad takes about a week or two, but again, Square is about the next day. The only problem is Square does not deliver anything. I believe it may deliver digital products, but it does not deliver a physical product. So you're going to have to go back and do it manually to order from Amazon to ship it to your customer. So you got to count whether you want to do that or not. But those are a couple of platforms I use to kind of process.
So Gumroad is the best way to deliver digital media, such as, hey, I have a book, or I have an ebook, hey,
or tickets. Now they can sell physical products, but they don't print. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So you're going to have to fulfill the order yourself. That's the only downside. But Gumroad, Gumroad.com is the platform I love to use. And I encourage people to buy from me from that platform, because most of the proceeds go to the author or the creator of the.
I love it. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Herman, man, we got to have you back for another show, man. That's all the time we got for today, man. Can you come back?
I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for having me today.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, man.